Yeah, that's it. So, I mean, feel free, we'll probably take off in about 5-10 minutes, so feel free to walk around. We just asked not to touch anything just yet. Great, hello, welcome.
Hi.
Welcome. Hello. Nice to meet you. Yeah. You'll be kind of getting involved and going to the pro.
Like with the light on it, hey, it looks so good.
I thought it was a Ford shop and it's a Ferrari, so
We do a bit of everything. It's just fun. Mix it up a little bit. Don't you think about how the Ford shop and we've got like one of our own clothes out?
yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Such a hard shot, but and like it never looks the same. Like it looks different to that normally because the light is so
Yeah.
Anything selling for it not there.
Including those two that we saw.
Yeah.
I've got some of them from here and kept it, so I am working on that. It's the first one. Yeah. So 30%. Yeah. You think they've got in the way? No, nothing.
might give you the cue at that point. Like, yes. All right, sounds good. Cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. All right, I think we are going to kick. Oh, I scared some of you guys there. I'm sorry. Great. I think we're going to kick it off. So if you're in the back, feel free to just come a little bit closer. That will be great. Amazing. How are you guys all doing today? Doing pretty good? I'm so used to saying, well, it's pretty cold out there, but I'm in Brisbane, so we're all pretty, the weather's beautiful here. It's nice meeting you guys. So my name is Charlie. Actually, I think that works. Tested that before. Sorry, give me 1 second, because that's going to annoy me. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining today. My name is Charlie Blevins. I am the Training and Event Specialist for Fujifilm Australia. I have my colleague Anthony in the back. Give a little wave, Anthony. And and so firstly, we just want to give a massive thank you to Camera Pro with Manuel and Phil, who may be here as well, because when it comes to events in itself, we're really big on the notion that we want to create these unique experiences. Because yes, we have great cameras, we have great lenses, and this is me taking off my Fujifilm hat, that literally any camera that you bring to any events, it's awesome because it's a great way to be able to capture of just the creativity that comes to mind. And not only with that, when we actually venture into different principles. So as an example, can you guys hear me in the back? Okay, great. As an American, I can access a third vocal cord if I need to. So in saying all that is, yes, so is anyone here actually a car photographer? Raise your hands. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish, about 6. Oh, sorry, you have a hand up too. 7 and 8, including the camera, and 9 with the other camera. So maybe I'll say about 67 car photographers here. And that's great because as for myself, when I started out in photography, street photography was really, really important to me. Fond memories with mom going around San Francisco. I have a disposable film camera, and as I'm out and about photographing the hills and whatnot, if I was good that week, my mom allows me to actually go get that roll of film developed. If I was bad that week, I had to wait another week, which is quite painful because we would drop it off at Costco, and God knows how long it takes for them to make it, unless you pay for the express, but mom wouldn't do that. So in saying that, as I grew up and as I ventured out into different genres, so I've done portraiture as my main bread and butter, did weddings, did commercial, did corporate headshots, and I find it funny that there are principles in street photography that is applicable. Oh, Michael. There are principles that are applicable in, say, for example, in street photography, that as I'm going into wedding photography, I'm like, man, I am shooting this wedding like it's street photography. And then I'm doing corporate headshots. I'm like, oh, I actually like the moodiness of what I'm doing this headshot. And I'm like, I can't keep away from the origins of just what really got me excited about photography. So in the same way, when it comes to car photography, when I first photographed my first car years ago, that it was quite intimidating right off the bat. And out of all cars, we've got a Ferrari here that we'll be photographing. And the first car I photographed was a Honda. And I think at that point, it was very relatable because A, it was a French car. So it was easy, it was not intimidating. But B, when we actually look at the design of the vehicle, even just staring at it, what are the feelings that you get from looking at a Ferrari? What are the one words that stick out to you? Yes?
In love.
In love! Well, it's 50% off. I'm just kidding. No. All right. Yeah, so in love. What other words come to mind when I say Ferrari? Style. Speed. Quality. Yes? Curves. Beautiful curves. Expensive. I think someone said cheap in the back. I'm just kidding. Yes. Great. So it's interesting, when it comes to a vehicle, just first impressions, these words come to mind. And I'll talk about this a little bit later, but they actually influence the way that we photograph the cars as well. But even to take it a step back, I want us to think about where our photography journey started, and I want you to actually take note of how that actually influences in the way that we photograph as well. And we're going to be talking about color and shadows and all that as well. Great, let's move on. Yep, next one, that's me. I was younger. Okay, so we're not going to make this a real long talk because I actually wanted to go through the demonstration side. There'll be about a 5 and 10 minute window for us to actually get our gear ready. We do have some loan stock if you want to give it a go as well, such as the XT5, the XT50. I believe there may be an XH2, XH2S in there as well. But if you want to use your own gear, you're more than happy to do that too. So today I'll talk about the blueprint, colors and reflections, dynamic composition. We'll go through just a little bit of demonstration of just how my eye works and when I actually see a scene and how I set it up. And then at the very end, you guys will all have the opportunity to photograph the car in that same way. And then we'll wrap up the night with a couple of questions and answers too. Works out? Ah, legend.
I think so.
Yes, it works. Thank you very much. Oh, wait. It doesn't like me anymore.
No?
Oh, wait.
That's all right. Then I keep doing it.
Okay.
I pressed it by mistake and I saw it going.
Oh, no, it did work for a second and then it just didn't like me anymore. All right, so here's the next slide. Okay, Cameron. Yep, Cameron, feel free to. Yeah, thank you very much.
I'll turn it
so,
on.
all right, the car is the closest thing we will ever create to something that is alive. Now, I'll read it again. The car is the closest thing we will ever create to something that is alive. So you can feel the power, you can hear the power. Can you go one more time? There it is. Alright, thank you very much. We give Cameron a hand. Thank you very much. It was very hard to do. Thank you. No, that's it. And so that prime example of a car coming to life, when you could actually feel the heart and the engine of the vehicle really coming in, I believe that's what really excites someone. Like, great, I just want to go fast. They feel connected in that way because the way how an engine roars is the same way as that we would breathe, like as humans in the same way. And so for many of us who are very connected to our cameras, we feel that way when we press that shutter or like we feel the grip, or like we actually feel connected to our craft. So in the same way, the car is the closest thing we will ever create to something that is alive. So what is the purpose of a blueprint? What comes to mind when I say blueprint? Yes? Yeah?
Like a piece of construction paper.
Yeah, that's right. A piece of construction paper. What else?
Plan?
Sorry?
A plan?
A plan, that's right. Yeah. Anyone else? The paper, plan, design, that's it. Next slide. Yeah, so a blueprint turns an idea into a real object or building. So, it's to be precise, it is a visual master plan that turns the idea into something real. So luckily we're not building a car today, and if so, it's going to be a unicycle. I would be terrible at making a car. However, we are building a set to turn our ideas into something real. So down the track, you're going to see me reposition the lighting because I have a very particular look that I like to do in shots. Whereas when you see the shots, you may feel, actually I wouldn't do it that way. That is actually a great starting point because the big question then becomes, how would you shoot it? And that's what's going to influence the lenses that we use, the camera bodies that we use, and most importantly, the lighting as well. Okay? Next up. All right, every car, so what car is it and what year is it? Because the moment someone said a Porsche or a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, the first question then comes, what year is it? Because different years has its own DNA, it was built for different purposes, but on top of that, each car was built for different roads as well. Some tires were built for off-road. Some tires are actually thinking about Formula One, actually for very, very specific race purposes. Or the daily commuter of just going around the CBD or the city, or like CBD in itself. That the design of the car, the tires in itself, it heavily influences of just what the byproduct of the blueprint actually is. Now, if you want to be obsessive, I encourage you that there's a particular brand that you're into. Look at every single year of that car has been released, see what changes have taken place, but most importantly, take a note on what changes didn't change over the years too. Because the things that don't change over the years actually says a lot about the value of like, this is who we are as well. So who here shoots Fujifilm as an example? That's right, we got 1, we got 2, we got 3. We got more car photographers than Fujifilm users in the room. And that's it, so about 4 to 5. So for example, Michael, I'm gonna pick on you on the back. When I say Fujifilm, what comes to mind?
Film simulation.
Film simulation. So the film simulations, how is that different from, let's just say, color palette?
Well, the cameras have built-in color film simulation, so you can basically shoot in camera JPEGs that almost look like they're finished ready to go.
That's
so
it.
Very different to every other camera or most other cameras that are on the market today.
Yeah, great. Thanks so much, Michael. So in the same way, for example, Fujifilm, if you ever talk to a Fujifilm user, the first words that would come out is, oh, Fujifilm, beautiful colors. And it goes more than just like a color palette. It was based off of the film simulations of the past, and often when we see some images taken with Fujifilm cameras, it relates to like, oh, I actually remember using that film stock from years ago, and there's this like personal connection to that, to the color palette, because it ties into our memories. So in the same way, when it comes to cars and the colors and the design and the year, they all come in that same place of just that connection from one person to the tool, or that what do you call it? The relationship that we have with the car. Great. Next slide. Yeah. Next up. So think about the history. So can anyone tell me who this man is?
Enzo Ferrari.
Sorry?
Enzo Ferrari.
Almost. But thank you for guessing. Anyone else? All right. Now I was going to say his name, but when I said this, I butchered his name left and right because my American ears, and it didn't work out. So this man is
Ferruccio Lamborghini.
Ferruccio Lamborghini. I can't say it. Say it one more time.
Ferruccio Lamborghini.
Ferruccio Lamborghini.
Lamborghini.
Lamborghini. Now you're laughing at me. Now it's your turn. All right. Let's do that. So actually, let's try it. Can we all see together? First name. 1, 2, 3. No. You messed up. Let's try again. One more time. No. It's like this, everyone. Ferruccio. Is that right? Lamborghini. I struggled with that. So, in the 1950s, Ferruccio Lamborghini was a highly successful millionaire manufacturing tractors from surplus military hardware. He loved sports cars, and he loved his Ferrari. Until that his car, he had an issue with the clutch. And so with the clutch, he invited Enzo Ferrari he spent time with him, and he complained about it. And he says, look, the car is great, but there's something wrong with the clutch. And so Mr. Ferrari heard him out, and he actually just said, look, this is actually getting quite frustrating. The car is perfectly fine, and look, you only know how to drive tractors, not cars. And so, what do you think Mr. Lamborghini did? He was like, you know what, I'm going to make my own supercar. So Ferruccio was so upset that he decided to build his own grand car to prove that he could make a better sports car than Ferrari. And this was the birth of Lamborghini. Let's go to the next slide. Now, this is great because this isn't only in the car scene, this goes with pretty much in any industry, that when there's a new creation of a competitor, it really gives birth to innovation. Because if you're on the cream of the crop of the competition, it's like, why would you want to continue to innovate? But in this case, the birth of Lamborghini led to the birth of innovation. So instead of focusing on pure horsepower, Ferrari pivoted to mid-engine road cars, which wasn't common in the early 1960s. So this led to many first ever mid-engine wins for races in the Drivers' Championships as well. And so hearing that story of just how Lamborghini was formed in that way, and then with his frustration with his, I don't know if it's a common issue or his Ferrari, that it was the clutch was the issue. Think about that in his history. How is that going to actually influence you in the way that you photograph cars? Knowing that piece of history. Like, imagine if I didn't know the story, and then the first thing I photographed in a car was a clutch. anyone who knows history will look at them like, ooh, he must be a Lamborghini user, like in that case, right? But it's important to know that. All right, we'll move on. Yep, so the history can influence how we shoot our image. Every car brand has a signature about it. So I'm not going to go down every single car brand because each car brand generally has its own strong history of how it came to be. Now, in the same way, any portrait photographers in the room? Any portrait? Wow, there are less. Actually, I want to do a survey. If you're a product photographer, raise your hand. Portraiture, cars, vehicles, wildlife.
Live streamer.
Live streaming and vlogging, content creation, food wall. Great. Now, is there a genre that I didn't say that everyone else
Travel.
did? Sports?
Travel.
Sports photography?
Music. Travel.
Music? Okay, you're very new to photography. Wow. I cannot wait to chat to each and every one of you after this. I'm very curious to see what everyone is doing. Now, in every single genre, it's when you tie in history, it adds so much more weight into our photographs too. So as an example, when I used to shoot weddings, I would get to know the bride quite well, kind of hear their story about how they met, get to meet the groom, ask him about what do you love about your wife to be? And we actually met at McCoy's Cherry in Sydney. Great. How about we do the engagement shoot there? And it's like, oh, that's true. Because when you relate history into the photographs, it influences the way that we shoot, where we shoot, and when we shoot too. Because in the same way that when we were to photograph Ferrari, in an ideal world, I would be out on the streets, ask Cameron to actually, go on a track and go nuts in it. But in this stage, this is the way that I see the scene. So that's something I want us to experiment later on. Does that make sense in regard to the history? Wonderful. All right, next, colors and reflections. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but it's really important that we consider the colors of the car, but equally the colors of the car in its natural environment too. So here's a quick wheel, and in principle, that whatever color it is, so in this case it's green, the colors that work best generally is right across from it. And if you're not too fond of that color, you can work with the colors next to it as well. This is a consideration. It's not really a quote-unquote principle. It's like, yes, that will work, because color in itself is subjective. So really think about the blend of everything. One of the rules, however, is, imagine I was wearing a bright, maybe like a bright orange shirt. And I'm over here, and then you're taking pictures of myself and the car here. In this space, you may look at this and think about what actually is the subject. Is it the person or is it the car? I guarantee the room will be cut in half because they'll be like, well, no, it's the car because it's bigger. Oh, no, it's orange because it stands out more. It gets really confusing very quickly. So the key principle here is keep the main subject in that way. Okay, move on. Thank you. Oh, is that working? Yeah. Oh, yes. All right. Lucky number 3. All right. Now, there's a couple of considerations. Dark and black paint. Who here drives a dark car, a black car? Yes, that's us. Okay. So when you have dark paint or like a black paint, it acts as a pure mirror. So they, just like with black, it absorbs light, but reflect the exact colors of the sky, the trees, the buildings around them. So they require bright, clean backgrounds or soft, uniform lighting, like overcast skies or golden hour, to avoid the muddy colors as well. So black absorbs colors, and it will give generally a good representation of the scene that you're in. Now let's look what happens with, doesn't lighting, oh wait, it worked, okay. Just wants me to dance a little bit. All right, so light and white paints. So it reflects massive amounts of light. So think of dark colors, it absorbs. Light colors, it's everywhere, okay? So it's making them highly prone to overexpose and loss of detail. So when we're photographing, like for example, this white, these white cars here, out in broad daylight, the tip there is for our cameras, it's better to underexpose 1 stop to 2 stops right off the bat. Because if you were to photograph this white car on a bright sunny day at box speed or just like at even exposure, you may lose details of just the curve, or if there's like certain characteristic traits. You're really relying on your software to really bring it back in that case. So white cars tend to benefit from darker or shadowed environments to create punchy value contrast in that way. Let's see, yes. Now, out of all the colors, we chose the most difficult color, which is this green, or this mint. Or what's the actual color, Cameron, if you're here?
It's called Verde Toledo.
Verde Toledo. That sounds like a pizza.
Verde Pallido.
Huh?
Pallido means pale green.
Pallido.
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 Pallido. It's not pallido, it's pallido.
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 Your turn. Just kidding. There it is. Oh, my voice is like 3 octaves higher than his too. All right, so there's challenging hues that rely on specific light angles to register accurately. So without intense direct golden light or perfect angle soft light. So it really just means like to control the colors. So if you were to take a picture of this car, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, you're going to notice the colors that are in your camera. It's going to be quite difficult to actually get it spot on to be this car as well. So this is where software really does work. So then that way you could actually adjust the colors, adjust the saturation to get it spot on. Now, if you wanted to spend the time, you can tweak the white balance, like in the cameras, to the point where you're like, actually that feels quite accurate. And when we go to the demonstration aspect, you're also going to notice that when I take the picture, I'm like, great, it looks perfect. But then on the monitor, the colors are going to be accurate again. So when I say it looks great, if it doesn't look great there, just trust me, it's a perfect picture in that way. So yeah, to be mindful of color. Hardware and software. Okay. Let's see next. Thank you. Go back one, please. One more time. Perfect. CPL filters. CPL filters. I'll say it again. CPL filters. CPL filters. Thank you. CPL filters. I would probably say it's a cornerstone in car photography. CPL filters are a cornerstone for landscape photography. Any dentists in the room? Okay. If you photograph teeth, CPL filters is a cornerstone. So I used to teach dentists in Sydney on how to photograph teeth, and I'll never forget that this person was seeing these pictures and it was just really, really reflective and they couldn't get the shot. So I'm like, have you heard of a CPL filter? I'm like, oh, what's that? Popped it on, showed them, and what that does is that it minimizes all the glares and the flares that you would see in the shot, and generally when it comes to colors, because it's not being washed out by the highlights, you're able to bring it back and actually retains the color in itself too. So think about like when you're photographing the beach or you're at Hawaii and the water's really clear. That when you take the picture, you'll notice that the sun is hitting the water, and it's actually really hard to see because of just how bright it is. CPL filter, pop it on the lens. Some of them are like variable CPL, so you can control the strength. Some of them are like half CPL, and then the other half is just what you see is what you get, and you could rotate it around. And so in this case, that when you put it on, that's what gives it that really clear water shots, because it minimizes the reflection of the highlights. So I do have one on my XS20. I don't have it on the GFX I'll be using today, and I'll try my best to kind of show you what I mean by that, where you'll see the reflections of the light on the floor and on the car, and then when I rotate the CPL, it minimizes that quite a bit, and then you're good to go. So in principle in photography, that if something is really overexposed, or if it's baked and it's like really, really bright, it's usually a bad sign to say it'll be really hard to get that detail back if you were to edit that picture as well. Unless you're shooting GFX, you have more flexibility. So CPL filters, we understand what that is? Mm-hmm. Amazing. Now, editing software. Now, unless you're really, really happy with the images that you get straight out of camera, you are going to need an editing software that you can really rely on. Now, there are more than 2 out there. These are the 2 that I generally recommend. Now, Lightroom. There is Lightroom Classic and Lightroom Cloud, I think from memory. Now, with Lightroom Classic, this is more desktop-based. Now, I love it because you have all the tools that you need to adjust the exposures, the colors. You can kind of work with the highlights, shadows, all of the above. You can manipulate the images as you would in Photoshop to some degree. But that's going to be your best friend in many cases. But it's really subjective on what camera brand that you're using too, because for Adobe, when they would see your files, they recognize what file that came from. So if it's like Nikon, Canon, Fujifilm, whatever it is, that's the color profiles. They work together, and then you can actually see them that way. Capture One is a personal favorite of mine. I highly recommend both. I like Capture One because I just find like when it comes to handling the raw files, especially GFX, it does extremely good for the details, and I'm not doing much tweaking in there as well. So Lightroom Classic, desktop is great. Lightroom Cloud, I believe that's it, is that it's more of just really quick edit. If you were to edit the picture on your iPad, you go back home, Wi-Fi connects, and then it would just sync to your desktop. And it's a really quick way to edit on the go. Great. All right, consider the visual hierarchy. So observe this picture. I had fun making these slides. Very beautiful. You know, you can just imagine yourself in there. You can just hear the water in that shot. And then there's a rubbish bin right in the foreground. Does that ruin the picture? Absolutely. So on one end, photography isn't only about what is in the frame, it's also what you leave out of the frame as well. So just think about how you would recompose yourself to have the bin out of the picture, or just move the bin out of the way. What about that? You can tell my editing skills is amazing here. A little girl running the opposite way. How does this impact the image? That's it. Takes the focus off of the car, and now it's on the child. Remember how I talked about two primary colors, right? Okay, what about this? There it is. So then, now my attention is divided into three different things. There's a bright yellow rubbish bin that's just there taken away from what I'm trying to photograph. There's a girl running the opposite way, and like, oh, what's actually the subject? And look, an airplane. So which vehicle is actually the main subject? So, color and subject will conflict with your main subject. As people, we relate to people naturally. So don't confuse the viewers on who or what is the main subject. And when you have another vehicle, then the big question is what actually is the subject. So considering this to how that first image was, that make the main subject the main subject. All right, dynamic composition. Now these 4 points, I guarantee you that if you answer these 4 questions every single time, it will make you a better photographer right off the bat. Because often, when we pick up the camera, we instantly gravitate right towards the subject, and like, oh, that looks pretty cool, and start taking pictures right away. We need to ask ourselves these questions. What do you see? You need to see the picture in your head first before you take the picture. Because have you ever had that one friend or family member that was like, hey, let me take a picture of you, come over here, let's take a picture, and you're just like smiling and your face is getting tired because you're taking 20 to 30 pictures, and you're like, oh, come on, like, let's just get on with it. What I like to call that is spray and pray. That you are spraying the shots and praying that one of those pictures will be good enough. When really, if you flip it the other way around, that if you have a picture in mind, you should be able to minimize the amount of photos that you take because you know what you're aiming for. So that way, when you look at a scene, such as far behind me, you're going to look at that and be like, okay, I'm looking at this, before I bring the camera, what do I see? I see a really good close-up on that left front light. Okay, how do I visualize it? Got it. And then you actually go and try to replicate what you see. There's nothing more satisfying being able to do that consistently left and right. Next is, how do you wish to convey it? And how do you position yourself as well? Because in principle, you want, like if I was photographing like someone, you want to be aligned with them, and if the person's facing the front and you go on the sides, you are actually kind of doing a created angle in that way too. Because by going on the side, the light's there, great, now we have a backlight. Let me go on this side. Okay, now the light is lighting up my subject. I'm good to go there. If I want to photograph straight on, I have a split light now because the light's coming from this way, shadows, and then there too. So the same principles in portraiture in that way is the same thing that we could do with cars as well. And how do you position your subject? So I'm not strong enough to pick up the car and move myself, so luckily I had Cameron in the back, like, oh, do you mind moving the car this way a little bit? And it was perfect in itself too. So let's have a look. So when we see this picture, just like, what are your observations from this picture by itself? Like, what really stands out to you?
The lights lined up with the actual car itself.
That's it. Yep. So he said the light itself is aligned with the lights of the car.
Yeah.
Nice. What else?
Provided a silhouette of the shape.
Yep. Provides a silhouette. So does anyone know what car that is just by the shape? I'm gonna cover
Looks
the
like
front.
an Audi.
That's it. It's funny, the people in the front row got it. Yep, that's it. So it's an Audi, right? That's right. So when you underexpose, you see that it gives a silhouette look. It underexposes, so then you can actually see the personality of the car in that way too. Any last observations?
Talk about positioning and they've obviously lined it up so that the light reveals.
Yes, that's it. So where you position yourself and where you position your subject, that's what creates not only the lens itself, but even just having that one streak right behind the Audi logo in that way too. Cool. So that's exactly it. So there is a bit of a leading line. You can kind of see the lines itself. The leading lines, you can see it actually directing right towards the main subject. I like the play of repetition of the lights too, because not only am I looking at the light, I'm looking at the spaces in between the lights too. And luckily, this kind of setup is kind of identical to what we could pull off here if we really wanted to. Yep, so leading lines, repetition, makes the main subject the main subject. So everything points to the subject. Okay, how about this one? So when it comes to car photography, in principle, you should always give space to where your subject is going. So for those who are wildlife photographers, if there's a bird in a tree, you don't want to crop right in front of the beak of the bird, for example. You want to go the other way, so then that way you're giving the bird space to actually fly out. In the same way, you need to give the space for the car to actually make its way too. Yep, so you see the main subject, the direction it's going, and even the color play as well. So you can see that the rule of 2/3 were applied, that you can see that the top portion of the image is yellow, and the bottom portion of the image is green in that way too. And with the car being black on yellow, that's what enables the subject to really stand out, to have a black on that yellow backdrop. Yeah, good play of colors. Rule of thirds. There it is. Okay, got a last one or two, but remember, when it's bright yellow, bright colors, think of white, dark, make sure that you're photographing in a dark scene. Now, technically, if we were to look at this image in itself, it's not a dark scene, but what the photographer has done here is underexpose the image. So in that way, the whole image actually darkens, and because the car in itself is bright yellow and vibrant, it just makes that vehicle stand out even more so in that case. I'm pretty good at drawing, aren't I? Darkens out. Yep. Oh, and also I noticed the photographer lowered the green saturation to not compete with the orange as well. So just with the greenery in the back, I noticed the saturation was dropped, and that's what really, really makes it stand out. Cool. Okay, so one of the last points. So there we can see our repetition again. It wasn't just a picture of the car from afar, it was really intentional of the framing to have the repetition of the shades. The rule of thirds was applied here in this image as well. Yep, and then the importance of filling the frame. And one of my favorite phrases is that if you feel like your images aren't good enough, you aren't close enough, like in that case. So in the same way, when we're photographing this car, it's generally a good principle to do a test shot from afar and then actually fill in the frame all the way until you're actually happy with the composition in that way too. And then, like, the principles of portraiture again, that a lot of the times, like, folks would ask, like, how do you actually pose somebody? Really, I like to call it the 3-point of change. Is that, so for example, if I pick you really quick. Thank you. So what's your name?
Jared.
Jared. So let's just say I am tasked to photograph Jared in 3 different ways. So pose number 1, perfect. 2, 1. Now, one movement, do you mind, just like your hands like this, you mind bringing it up to the elbow instead? Perfect. So actually, yep, go down. So let's just pretend this is picture 1, picture 2, okay, and then picture 3. Just like that. 3, rotate the shoulder a little bit, and then, yep, bring it this way, other way. Yes, that's it. That's it, right there, and then put all the weight in your left foot. That's it, lean back, perfect. Just like that. Now, we have an American. Oh, I'm just kidding. That's it. So you can see that, just those 3 thank you, Jared. So you can see that by those 3 subtle changes, it changes the overall image, it changes the overall scene. So in the same way, when photographing cars, think about your 3 points of differences. 1 is you could be spot on. 2 could be shooting from below, giving that car even more quote-unquote power. Or 3, you shoot from the top as well so you can see the interior even better. Or, same thing, from 1, going for on the right side of the car as 2, and then photographing on the center and capturing the logo in itself as 3. So that's a really good principle as a 3-point focus when it comes to just shooting anything in general. So if you ever feel like, oh, I don't know what to shoot, 3 of the same scenes, but just slight variations. Great. Do you guys find that helpful? Great. There it is. All right. So now we're about to go to the demonstration aspect. But does anyone have any questions on what I've shared today? Great. You all feel pretty good?
So you can apply some of those principles in video too, can't you?
Sorry?
You can apply some of those principles in video too.
Yeah, and video is a whole different ballgame because you're shooting at like slower shutter speeds or slower frames. Then that's where not only do I need a CPL filter, I need an ND filter as well to balance that all out. Yeah, that's it. Great. So what I'm going to say is we're going to take a quick 5-minute break, and then so this is the perfect time to just have your cameras, get that all set up. I think we may still have some drinks in the back, so if you just want to get some drinks, it's also there too. If you have a camera, do you mind just raising it up for me? Or if it's in the bag, that's okay too. Amazing. All right, if you're shooting Canon, do you mind going in the back? Just kidding. Just kidding. Great, cool. All right, that's good to know. So if you like to borrow a camera, the only thing that we require is a physical driver's license. A physical driver's license. And if you don't have one, please partner with someone who does in that way. And I do want to note that we do not have SD cards to hand out tonight. So ideally, if you do have an SD card, then perfect. If you don't, borrow one.
Do you have a preference for that?
Oh, good question. So the question is, do you have a preference in lenses when it comes to shooting? I'm going to demonstrate 2 different ends, but when I shoot vehicles, I like to go wide lenses because there's only so many images you can take that it starts to look similar. But with wide lenses, I like to exploit the distortion to kind of give it more of a creative edge. Yeah, so I'm using a 20 to 35 on a GFX, and then I'm using a 16 to 55 on an APS-C. Yeah, cool. All right, we'll take a 5-minute break, and then we will come in together for the demonstration aspect.
Thanks, Al. Good, how are you?
Hey, Gypsy. Oh yeah, I thought it was buffering. Well, I got it on video anyway, so before I end the stream, I'll make sure I save it and I'll just upload it. I thought that was happening when I was coming in. Yeah, I've only got 4,000 bit rate. Normally I normally have about 6 or something. I couldn't really read chat while that was going on either. Some losing bit rate, as soon as I get in here, it drops about 2,000. It's because the doors are shut too. 4,000 bit rate here. It's because it's all metal. And then glass doors shut at the front.
Good, thank you. How are you? Good to see you. Are you well?
Tomorrow at the convention centre it should be a lot better with signal wise. It automatically saves the video, even if it skips. So move there, it drops down to 2,500. Could you let me out? Oh, open it. Okay, thanks, mate. I don't really need to save anything else. That talk part, so I can upload that tomorrow or tonight. But I understand what he was saying about all the colours and all the other things he's talking about. Hey, kick. Sorry about the signal strength in there. I've got 4,000 bit rate out here. Must be down this area or something. There's all the metal in there, like I said before. All they're really going to do is take photos.
Are you going back in?
No. Thanks anyway.
No worries. Just didn't want to lock you out.
That's right, thanks mate.
Have a good night, mate.
You too. Just a bit of walking around. Go to the supermarket before I go home. I got all the talk on video, like I said, if anyone else is listening. So if it was effing, or as Gypsy was saying, it's for people that got big end cameras and stuff. The only way I use a camera like that is I can only use specific cameras, like the Sony FX3, because they've been tested, because they got a fan in them to use with the Live View Pro, which I own. So that's something I do have another Sony camera, the CV10, but it's only a cheap thing, it's only a couple of grand. But the other one's designed to, because it's got a fan in it, it'll last for say a 10 hour or a 12 hour stream with my Live View. So basically that's why I use the other little Sony camera with my Live View when I'm out, because it's more of an action cam and it can take the rugged environment that it's in, the heat and all that sort of stuff. But we're looking at, I saw a FX3 for about 2.5 on special. I'm eventually going to get one. But they're mirrorless cameras, they're not like the big end DSLRs. It's actually getting hot in there. You could borrow cameras, but what's the point when I'm effing? Got the gist of the talk he was talking about and some of the principles I can apply to doing video. Space. So I check my camera straight. Look at that orange chair. Space. There's a pig. Must be a pig table. There's a restaurant back down there called, I think it was a Fat Cow or something. Good designer furniture. This is a real yuppie area. There's a gym over there. We're in the Fortitude Valley. Get more lighting in the street up the end. So I got a ticket for tomorrow's event. It cost me $60. If I want to get more technical with cameras like that, I'd just go out and buy one and learn how to use it properly. Like and then put the proper filters on it, especially because you're out when the sports events, you're out with bright lights. And the other thing is, a zoom lens can be very expensive too. I just came to see what it was about.
I would say so. It's just
And I already apply some of those principles in shooting video, even though it's on a phone at the moment. This is, like I said before, is more of the yuppie area. Expensive clothes shops, restaurants. Ribs and burgers. Music doesn't really matter because I'm just uploading that video from tonight. That was the backup. That's good with that streaming program Prism. You get a backup of your stream. Once again, I'm sorry about it, and that it was out of my control. Zimmerman, I heard that designer before. Nudie Jinko. This is where all the hot chicks live.
That's pretty bad.
Even the kids are well dressed. It's a nice bar. Fancy bowls of water. Actually, I might go across here. Need to see a lot more traffic. Thanks anyway for letting me know, Gypsy, about the spinning wheel. It's a car with no headlights coming down the right hand side, just indicating now. The headlights. Headlights, got no headlights. Still need the other one, mate. You've only got parkers on.
Huh?
You're driving down the street with no headlights on. You've only got parkers on. Oh, you got one. He's only got one headlight now in a Parker. He knew it too. But he didn't know he was driving without no headlights at all. But he knew he had a broken headlight. This is where all the nice cars are too, the Ferrari and that are down here. All the high brand, high-end cars. It says there'll be a few $100 million worth of cars tomorrow. Anywhere from $5 to $10 million each. Jags, Bentleys. So be there at 10 AM tomorrow. When this stream ends, you'll see the notification for it, the stream. Certified pre-owned, Mercedes-Benz. It's only a Thursday night, so it won't be too busy in here. Look up train times. "21 past, 36 past." Oh. 38 past, and it's 12 past now. Polestar. Wonder where they're made.
So, yeah, he's got some.
Hopefully the bit rate's a bit better. Should be. Yeah, the new trend for Instagram Live is yapping. Just talking all the time. With their rooftop bar in there, I think. Smells alright. Nobody in there, it looks alright. There's no point in me sticking at home now repeating myself, no point sticking around because the bit rate. If I was using the live view, it'd probably work. Multiple SIM cards, right, on modems.
Sì, mettilo a memoria acá.
So the convention centre tomorrow is on the other side of the city, over there, other side of the river. I don't think I've actually streamed anything in there before. Streamed in here plenty of times. It's usually pretty dangerous in here. The nightclub over there has been open for 43 years. I think it's called Smash now. I walked down to the Valley Mall too. go home. I'll go to the shopping centre first, down here. Get some cream and something else, I don't know what else. Go home, cook dinner. And upload whatever footage I do have on that seminar. Usually it's packed on Friday, Saturday nights here. There probably is a better time to go out. Less people, less idiots, less drunks. We've changed this bar here called the Chattahoochee. Pretty full for a Thursday night. It's all the fake country people who aren't even country. Oh, it might be because they're here for the echo. I'm streaming to, well, when it is streaming, not circling the signal, to Kick and YouTube and Facebook. So tomorrow I'll be doing the same. Just might not do Facebook. I've worked out how to get chat to come up on the screen. So it merges the two chats onto one screen now, so I can re-kick chat. They used to have public toilets right here and they got rid of them. Couple of strip joints, Eye Candy. I don't know what the other one's called. Oh, K Club. Must be Kitty Club or something. There might even be a third one over there. People have been murdered right up here. Just a few people. It's a very dangerous area, this one. I don't really like coming back in here. Carl's Jr. There's no Wendy's in here. There's one at Lutwich and one in the city. Go to this Woolworths since there's not one near me close.
Always torn, like when I feel like I want.
There's the milk. Ice cream. I'll be in the middle. On this side. Can't see any cream. Looks like I might have to go to Coles on my own. Excuse me, mate. The cream, is that near the milk?
Milk, I think it should be there. The fridges?
With the cream? With the milk, I couldn't find it with the milk.
The cream?
Yeah, I want cream. So the milk's there, but I couldn't find any cream in there.
The whipped cream?
Cream.
Oh yeah, it should be in aisle 1.
That's right. Okay. Thanks. There's Danny. Well, the soft drink, but they don't really have much. You know, sure sold out. After diet, no. I'll just get this, don't worry about it. Have a look at the energy drinks instead. Thanks, mate. Volume 2. Catch our training tomorrow too. It's only 50 cents.
Yours not here yet? Yeah.
Come right down this end. So the signal's better, I think. But I've come through here in trains, so it does work.
Grab the bag, cancel the express bus.
It's actually Bowen Hills might get on and go to the next two stations, or next station.
This is a Northgate train, stopping all stations. The next station is Bowen Hills. Customers for the Ferny Grove line, please change trains at Bowen Hills.
think it might have been better in that place. They had the back door and the front door open. So I'll spend tonight editing that footage that's no good on the live stream. And hopefully upload that by tonight. This is only in 1080 60p, not 4K or 8K. trust these dirty toilets. Train's going to be here in about 3 minutes. Probably the next one. This chest mount's good for one thing.
Platform 2 in approximately 2 minutes. Please wait behind the yellow safety line until the train has stopped.
Hit the subscribe button while you're there for tomorrow. Get a notification for the car show. So if there's 200 cars that say 5 million each, that's 100 million plus in cars. So some of them are 10 million each, some of them are 5 million each, but there's nothing under 5 million. And there's 200 out of his 1,000 car collection. Clive Palmer. He's a Queensland miner. When the stream ends, it automatically defaults to that stream for tomorrow. So you can either hit the subscribe button now and wait to get a notification, or wait till the end of the stream for the next stream to come up and press the subscribe. You could, thanks everybody in chat. Signal will be much better tomorrow. This train station's right out the side of the convention centre. So I spent $60 on the ticket and say $1 to get there and back. At 10 a.m. tomorrow, Australian Eastern Standard Time, from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. We'll see how long I last. I want to be there for at least 2 to 3 hours. That's a pretty big display and it's undercover. No, oh yeah, there's the next one. I saw the train on the right, but then there's a train on the left too.
Doors closing. Please stand clear. Prepare to disembark.
Phones on the right hand side, this is Windsor.
Doors closing. Please stand clear. The next station is Wilson. Arriving at Wilson Station. If this is your station, prepare to disembark.
Wilson Station on the left.
Wilson Station. Mind the gap. Doors closing. Please stand clear. Station is Newmarket. Now arriving at Newmarket Station. If this is your station, prepare to disembark.
Platforms on the right hand side.
Doors closing. Please stand clear. The next station is Alderley. Arriving at Alderley Station. If this is your station, prepare to disembark.
Alderley station platforms on the left.
Alderley Station, mind the gap. Doors closing. Please stand clear. The next station is Enoggera. Arriving at Enoggera Station. If this is your station, prepare to disembark.
Platforms on the right-hand side of the Enoggera.
Enoggera Station, mind the gap. Doors closing. Please stand clear.
Something clicked in my knee. It fucking hurt. Oh. Hear the fireworks at the Echo. Glad I didn't walk over there. Struggle to get home now. I'll be right by tomorrow. taken this guy months to do that red car's brakes and coilovers. Okay, Chad, I'm going to end it here. Thanks, everybody. Sorry about the effing tonight, but if you want to see the photography workshop, it'll be on YouTube. So I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.